Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs, and today, a match that I've been following for weeks finally came to its conclusion, and I knew I had to cast this game, because here we get to see our hero Grimm guy go up against the CO that he normally doesn't get to play, and that is, of course, Nell. Nell is not available in the Global League. She is available in Live League, but I don't see Grimm guy playing a lot of Live. He usually only plays Global League standard maps. Sometimes I see him in High Funds, but Nell's not allowed there either. So this appears to be a bit of a friendly game. And so I don't know the history of this game. I don't know how they decided to set it up. I just saw that Grimm guy was playing Nell in a standard match, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. We don't get to see this matchup a lot. And Grimm guy's opponent, Cat Lab, I don't know much about this account. It seems like an ult to me. You can usually tell. Very few people reach a win streak of 25 with only 3 losses. You know, they don't usually do this on their main account. This is not a normal progression unless you're like just a naturally gifted genius. This seems like an ult to me. It is an account that has played over 100 Nell games, so one of the biggest Nell main accounts on the site. So I think the rating of 1179 might be far under the mark here. I think this player might be a lot stronger than that. So again, I don't know the history of this match. I don't know why they're playing it. I only know that I wanted to cast it once it is done. Now, Grimm guy, of course, needs no introduction. He's the account that plays predominantly as Grimm. You guys know and love him. I've covered him more than any other player on the channel. I think you guys just love Grimm guy matches, so I figured, you know, why not show you this as well? Now, Nell versus Grimm is a hilarious matchup because, again, it's just one of those matchups we almost never see. And it is a matchup that Grimm guy, or Grimm, I should rather say, has a hard time with. Now, I've repeated this points many times. I'm not going to go into super big detail, but Nell's good luck really gets enhanced against Grimm in a big way. I can show you this most clearly by doing like a Mega Tank matchup, or like a Mega Tank. I guess we will swap them around. We'll do the infantry versus the Mega Tank, because then we get to see pure luck rolls. So you can see against any normal CO on a road here, you can see that Nell's luck range is 1 to 20. That is without any kind of comm towers or anything like that. However, the moment we swap over to Grimm, we can see that her luck value increases due to his lower defense. And this is even more apparent with her powers. You know, against Andy, she does 1 to 60 luck damage. Against Grimm, she does 1 to 72. And if we turn it up further to her superpower, 1 to 100, against Grimm, she gets a 1 to a 120. So Grimm's lower defense really enhances her already high luck damage, making this a very, very difficult matchup for Grimm. It is literally a 4-tier imbalance. Of course, we've seen Grimm guy take games against tier 1 COs before, and I actually don't even think Nell is tier 1. I think she's closer to tier 2. She's tier 1 in Live League, which I think is, she doesn't really match up well against the other tier 1 COs. But Nell also does have I think she's stronger against Grimm than many of the other tier 1 COs because of her enhanced luck damage. She doesn't have any movement boosting powers, so that is one thing that Grimm doesn't have to deal with. But those luck values are just going to hurt so much. So this is definitely going to be a tough match for our hero, Grimm guy. But of course, it's Grimm guy at the end of the day, which means we're in for a brawl. Let's get started. So, map they're playing on is Celeste's good old Global League map. Been around forever. One of those maps that never seems to leave the Global League pool. Not one of my favorites to play on. I do like spectating and casting games on Celeste. I don't much like playing it. It is a very artillery-centric map. These 2 mountains right here are very nice pockets for your artillery to sit behind. You put an artillery here, for example. You can also put an artillery here to guard a bunch of spaces. Let me just turn down the clicker sound a little bit. It was a little too loud for my taste. Comm towers, pretty exposed in the center. I always say that I think Grimm prefers games without comm towers because his firepower is already naturally high and he can break walls. Whereas comm towers on the opponent's side tend to hurt him more because his walls become increasingly hard or easier to break for his opponent. So I don't know if I'm right about this. I said it in a different game, and I think a bunch of people agreed with me in the comment section that I think Grimm prefer no com tower maps. But there are com towers on this map, which means that, you know, firepower is going to be very high on both sides. Also, airports. This is definitely favorable for both players. Nell and Grimm are actually kind of similar in many ways. They both really like battlecopters. They both like low-tech units that deal a lot of damage. In a kind of like a weird way, they play very similarly to one another, I think. Of course, Nell is far superior, but their playstyle is similar. They're both brawler-type COs who enjoy big action and large-scale confrontations and tons of engagements. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these two similarly themed COs stack up against each other. Now, Grimm guy opens up with an artillery, which I think is pretty much the normal thing to do on Celestes. Like, I've casted a bunch of games on Celeste, and it does seem to me like both players tend to go artillery first, and yeah, Catlab responds with an artillery. Again, they're just so strong because mainly the conflict of Celeste will be centered here and here. Like, there's one front here and there's one front here. Usually doesn't happen a lot in the middle. It's usually this front or the other. And artillery are just so good at backing each front because Celeste may look open, but it's actually deceptively a lot more closed off than you think. These mountains do a lot to slow pushes. There's a lot of opportunity for good walling and defensive play on Celeste. And Grimm guy saying, I see your artillery opening. I race you with double artillery open. And of course, those Grimm artillery, really, really strong. They really hit hard. They hit harder than Grit's artillery. You don't want to underestimate them. Of course, the weakness with Grimm's artillery is that it's far harder for him to wall, which means that they're more juicy targets. They tend to die easier. We have First Blood. Grimm guy interrupting this property on 407. Doesn't want to let his opponent get that for free. Follows it up with a tank. And I didn't say it, but this map, as most Global League maps tend to go, have a strong side, weak side component. This is Grimm guy's strong side. This is his weak side. Of course, weak side, he does have an airport, so that does mean a lot of battlecopters are going to be coming out, but it is fairly easy to lock down this airport with a good, well-placed anti-air. So I think Catlab might want to try and lock down the airport early. We'll see what happens here. Also another interrupt right here on 708. These two properties can sometimes stay gray for the entire match because neither player wants to let the other player have this property. It's a very strong property. If you capture it and you plunk a tank down there, incredibly hard to break because you only have one road tile to attack. So these cities are super easy to defend. Hence also why Grimm guy has two artillery backing them up. He wants to plunk down this artillery here to punish any interrupts because he wants the city. He does not want Catlab to get the city because if Catlab gets the city, it's going to be hard for... Even Grimm guy, as strong as he is, if he can only attack with a single unit, it's hard for him to do anything. Now Catlab, building a battlecopter, is going to be the first of many for sure. I'm expecting Grimm guy to fire off a battlecopter as well. Now this battlecopter is also exceptionally strong because it interrupts the city. And Grimm guy probably should just pull back, I think. There's no way he's going to get this. So he also needs to get an anti-air out. And I also love the artillery placement right here. Putting it here, yeah, Catlab's going to get the city, but then his infantry is going to die. And anti-air, of course, coming out. Yeah, and exactly, Grimm guy pulls his infantry off. He knows it's going to die. He's not just going to give that for free. This is a cheeky little cap from Grimm guy right here, going for the city right here. I don't think he's going to get it, not with the artillery here, but maybe he just wants to lock the artillery in place so it doesn't go into the center. We'll see. Com Tower now being captured by Catlab. It's going to escalate those engagements even further. And battlecopters are coming in. It looks like we might have ourselves a little bit of a stall. But again, Grimm guy matches tend to go like this. They tend to stall out in the mid game. And then suddenly, boom, like they explode. So that's why I love watching Grimm guy matches, because my goodness, they may start off slow, but once they get going, they are action-packed as hell. So we're on day 9 here, both players similar on income. Not anything huge going on, most players just poking and prodding. I am expecting Catlab to put an infantry over here and interrupt the city. I don't think he wants to just hand this city at 708 over to Grimm guy. But I like the artillery placement as well. The powder keg is set up. And yeah, that's what I thought. Catlab using his infantry from the mountain. He's going to lose it, of course. But again, these two cities are so strategically viable to hold. Neither player wants to just concede them for free. But let's see what Grimm guy decides to do now. This could get explosive very quickly. Celeste is a very complicated map. Positioning is extremely important. There's not that much terrain, but each terrain has a very specific purpose on this map. Grimm guy battlecopter coming in right now. Another artillery for Grimm guy right here. 3 artillery for Grimm guy right now. He is in it for the long haul. Day 10 rolls in. Catlab marches forward. Now goes for the city on 407. Has an anti-air to follow it up with. And it looks like Catlab's going to try and push pretty hard on the left-hand side right now. And this is another thing about Celeste. There's so many nooks and crannies to hide your battlecopters behind. It's very hard for anti-air to reach them. It's an incredibly strong battlecopter map. We're on day 10. Wow, Grimm guy being ultra cheeky with his caps right here, going for this cap right here on 1209. I don't think he actually necessarily wanted to go true. I think it's a distraction so that he can go and get some of these other properties right here. And he's gonna produce a lot of battlecopters. I also love the positioning of this artillery. It is locking down this city on 407. Grimm guy saying, I'm not gonna let you have that. But he's actually moving his troops slowly towards the middle. And I think what Grimm guy wants to do here, he wants to centralize his forces. Grimm guy doesn't like fighting on 2 fronts. He likes one big army in the center. And then once he begins to brawl, he just tends to outbrawl his opponents. So he's trying to gather his forces in the center. We'll see what Catlab does. Comes in with a tank. Oh my goodness. Oh, that hurts so much. Dude. I don't even think Grimm guy realizes how hard Nell's troops can hit sometimes. Like, I'm sure he expected the tank to strike him, but I don't think he actually expected it to be a kill. Because if we actually look at the damage right here, this is just absurd, man. This is like max level fire. Look at this. Maximum roll of 95. I mean, that is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. So I think he may have expected this tank to survive, but with the addition of the anti-air, it just goes down. So, really nice pickup from Catlab right here. And, ooh, is he sacking his battlecopter? No, okay, but Grimm guy surely can break through here if he wants to. Ooh, okay, good defense from Catlab, but Grimm has a lot of battlecopter, or he has a lot of tanks in range. Is he going to go for it? I think he... Can he break through here, actually? I'm not sure if he can. No, I don't think he can. I think this is pretty safe, actually. Yeah, I don't think he can reach the artillery this turn. Okay. So he goes in. He's going to sack his anti-air for a battlecopter. I think that's a decent trade on Celeste. But he's not going to be able to get to the artillery. But yeah, Grimm guy continuing to move his forces together in the middle. He's going to try and draw Catlab into one of those extended brawls I talk about. But it looks like the game is going to go towards another slight stall. Anti-air goes down. This is the part of the game where you got to be very careful about Grimm guy, because he's sitting on his power, and we know how much those powers can hurt. You can tell Catlab is playing very defensively right now. He knows the Knuckle Duster is ready. He doesn't want to hurt. He doesn't want to suffer that Knuckle Duster to the face. And this is what I was talking about. This is Grimm guy winding up his punch right here. He's getting ready. He's getting ready to brawl. But he's like inviting his opponent. Please come closer. Please come closer so I can clobber you in the face. Catlab, though, being very cautious. Being extremely cautious, actually. This is ultra defensive play. Using the HQ as part of his wall. Still not letting Grimm guy take this property, though. Remember what I said? These 2 properties can stay gray the whole game. It looks like this might actually be the case. But my Catlab is playing this so defensively right now. He does not want to brawl with Grimm guy, and I can't blame him. But this means Grimm guy is probably going to pick up this property on 1307. And it looks like he's just conceding the property on 1708 now. He's just going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to try going for that. Not with the artillery here. But this is also the kind of scenario that Grimm guy really likes. He loves stall matches and long build-ups because the more units he has on the field, the more effective his power pushes become. And also, the airport is not locked down, so every turn he gets another battlecopter on the field. We've seen what Grimm guy can do with enough battlecopters in his arsenal. Once he gets like 6 or 7 battlecopters, it feels like what he likes to do is to just target fire the enemy anti-air, wipe them off the map, and suddenly his battlecopters got free reign. So Catlab's got to be so careful with his anti-air and battlecopters now. If he loses them, Grimm guy's just going to clobber him. But Catlab is actually going very aggressive here. Oh my goodness. Oh, he gets a one-shot. That is... What are the odds of that happening? I wonder. I have to check. People get so mad when I don't use hotkeys for this, but I like doing it this way. Okay, this is a pretty cheeky luck roll right here. I'd say a 50-50 coin flip. 90 to 111. I think it's as close to a 50-50 coin flip as you can get. So, if this failed... I mean, I guess he still had the infantry, but... Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Nice interrupt, and he gets the artillery, at least one of them. But, ooh. I don't know, Grimm guy doesn't actually have that many forces here yet. He's got 3 tanks and 3 battlecopters chilling on the left side. I think Catlab may have caught Grimm guy with his pants down here. Because, yeah, Grimm guy's got a lot of forces, but actually most of his forces are still split. So, and Catlab recognized that and decided to strike while Grimm guy split up. Incredible play, but let's see what Grimm guy does now. His haymaker is closing in. I don't think he's gonna pop it. Grimm guy likes to pop his knuckle duster even when his haymaker is ready because he likes to save some of that power charge for later. And there we go. There's the knuckle duster. Let's see what he can do. So he goes in, 9-2. I don't think he can one-shot. Ooh, but the infantry comes in, and with the luck roll, he gets it out. And oh boy, the brawl has begun, ladies and gentlemen. But Catlab has 2 artillery here that are well protected. I don't think Grimm guy can... He might be able to reach this one. Potentially. But many of his forces are still kind of out of position, and he's bringing them to the right now. But they're still not completely there. And Catlab's got Lady Luck right now. Ooh, are we going to see Lady Luck? Anti-air comes in here, and Grimm guy, because he has to move all of his tanks to the right, now his airport is in danger of getting locked down, so he actually needs to be very careful. Here comes the Lady Luck, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily, Grimm guy popped his power last turn, so he gets that 10% defense boost. But this is still gonna hurt like an absolute truck. One shot. Another one shot. Oh, doesn't quite get it. That might have been a low roll, honestly. Let me actually check. I'm always curious to see those like Nell luck values. 66 to 166. Probably like 40-60, I think. In favor of, or like 60% chance to one shot, maybe. I'm not good with my probability, but I can feel the stats. Ooh, Grimm guy has 2 artillery picked off. That is not good. Ooh, I think Grimm guy may have gotten caught with his pants down, as I said earlier. I think Catlab chose the exact moment to strike here. And day 15 rolls in, and Grimm guy still has a tank and a battlecopter out of reach. He's coming in with other battlecopters now, though. This brawl is going to continue for a little bit longer, it appears. But Grimm guy just doesn't have the massive soldiers ready to actually strike here. But he's curling up his units in a defensive formation, using his injured units as shields. But Catlab will not let up. Catlab is just barging in here. Battlecopters coming in. And now he's target firing Grimm guy's anti-air, reducing his capacity to destroy battlecopters. Oh, my lordy lord. Grimm guy's on the back foot right here. He's getting out-brawled, but let's see what he can do now. He pops his knuckle duster. In comes the battlecopter. That's a one-shot. Sacks a 2 HP tank. Gets the one-shot. He luckily has some injured units around. Another battlecopter comes in. That's a one-shot. Artillery takes out the infantry on the mountain. He's striking back pretty hard. The counterattack is strong. He gets an artillery too, which is nice. But look at Catlab almost has Lady Luck available again. You know, I just realized they have the same power bar as well. Not only do they play kind of similarly as COs, but they have the same power bar as well. And here comes a Lucky Star, not a Lady Luck. I think Catlab may have deduced that he doesn't need the power of Lady Luck to save the day. And looks like Grimm guy is just kind of melting here, guys. Yeah, he's getting out-brawled by Nell. Nell's troops are hurting too much. And normally what we see here in this stage of the game is we see Grimm guy just using his superior firepower to just clobber his opponent. But Nell's firepower is so much higher, he's not able to keep up, I think. Not only did Catlab... Yeah, it's a resign. Wow. Damn. Damn. Grimm guy got shellacked by Nell. Oh well. Well fought though, considering it's a 4-tier imbalance. Catlab's a strong player too, I think. Far stronger than his rating would show. I think he's probably a much higher rated player. I don't know if he's I don't know this guy, but he seems pretty competent. And yeah. Our hero Grimm guy just couldn't outbrawl Nell. I think this might be why Nell is banned in Global League. I don't know. But a hell of a match and hell of a fight from Grimm guy. He can't win them all, guys. But yeah, there's your Grimm guy game of the month. I know you guys have been asking, so hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, my name has been Mangs. I'll see you guys next time. Toodaloo!